Welcome back. You're still watching In the Game. We just wrapped up our top 5 stories, and you can catch up if you just joined us. You're welcome. Get to follow, like our social media platforms at News Central TV. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're live right now on YouTube, so you may want to catch up on the conversation. Let's take you to Tokyo. We have been talking about athletics, even taking you to what happened to the Kenya's mixed relay team. But let's talk more on athletics right now, especially for Nigerian athletes. After seeing the reaction from Tobi Amusan, I will bring you up to speed with the current status of Nigerian athletes and how they fared so far, day 1 of this competition. Let's begin with Chukwuebuka Enekwechi. Yes, he advanced to the men's shot put final at the 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo with a throw of 20.83 meters. The national record holder, he placed 5th in Group A and 7th overall, securing a spot among the top 12. Now, it is his 5th World Championship appearance, offering him redemption after narrowly missing in the final in Budapest. Meanwhile, Nigeria's women, they fell short in the discus throw. The likes of Chioma Onyekwere-Lyons opened with 59.45 meter, but she fouled her remaining attempts, ending her 4th World Championship campaign outside the qualifying range. Obiageri Amaechi, we thought we would see something better from her, but she was competing her 2nd global outing. She managed to throw 55.69 meters and 48.82 meters to finish 16th in her group. It was the 33rd overall mark, and that made her miss out a place in the final. So, in field event, we're already falling like a pack of cards, and it is calling for concern right now because taking 15 athletes to Tokyo, we were thinking we'll get 15 medals at least, but 2 already down, 1 in the final, hoping to clinch a medal. And we're hoping that when track event starts, we get to put a smile on our faces. I want to do the talking right now, get to break down this conversation, starting from Tobi Amusan's reaction. We would have a sport journalist called Victor Okpone joining us via Zoom right now. Thank you, Victor, for joining us on the show.
Good afternoon. And of course, yes, while it's beautiful and the sun is coming out, I think I'm not too happy. I'm not excited because we are negative news again.
Yes, negative news again, and it sells so well. Let's have an athletics commentator, journalist Okeke Joshua, join us all the way from Akure. Thank you, Joshua, for joining us on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's really nice, and yeah, the World Championship is on, and we just have to enjoy it.
Of course, you can hear Victor Okpone. He says negative news again. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on the show. I'll begin with Victor. Victor, I'm sure that you have your disappointments already. We can see it evident in what you did say, your remark at your introduction. So tell us at this time, negative news again. Negative news sells indeed. But were you expecting too much from the Federation?
Well, not at all. I wasn't expecting the Federation to do different, really. But then it's just an eyesore. Seeing that we've had these issues that came up in the last couple of months, favor, deciding to leave, switch allegiance. Some of the athletes also drumming the drums that they would actually look at making the same switch. And our Federation is not looking like they want to do better. They are not looking like they want to align better. And I repeatedly say this, until we decide that we're going to do the right things, until we decide that we're going to take sports the way business, the business-like manner it should be, I think we'll keep having these issues. And it's really bad on athletes who continually want to put us on the global stage, athletes who continually go out there and put their bodies on the line to ensure that we get something as a country. We have our anthems, our flag flown, at this world stage, and then we keep on showing them these things again. I mean, look at the joy, the energy with which the American girl was actually displaying her own gear. And you thought that of the Nigerians, and we're expected to compete against the same people time and time again, consistently. We cannot expect much from them. And then we have people back home criticizing and saying all of that without knowing that the administrators have not actually clapped their foot on the ground and demanded something good that would help the sports actually run better. So yes, I've seen this time and again. I'm not surprised, but it's just disappointing that we keep going from bad to worse. Actually, with some of the things, the world is moving at a faster pace, and we're right there lagging behind.
But let me bring Okeke in right now as an athletics commentator. I'm very sure he's familiar with what the Athletics Federation can do. Okeke Joshua, I would take this angle. Yes, Amusan, she's, I would say, regarded as Nigeria's foremost. We would say the hopes of getting a medal in this competition on Amusan, we are very certain that she's capable, she can get the job done. But her swipe at the Athletics Federation of Nigeria wasn't just about the kids. Let's get it clearly. It was a deeper statement on why many Nigerians, they end up switching nationalities, switching allegiance to other country. Joshua, when you compare Nigeria's preparation to how other countries did equip their athletes and also prepare for this World Championship, what does this really say about sport administration and our priorities in Nigeria?
All right, thank you. I think we would have to be a little lenient with the new board, the new people on board right now, because they are just barely 4 months and they will only get to do the little they can with the limited resources, which we can see clearly with the number of athletes they are taking in. However, I think they wanted to try to bring in Nigerian brands to just like support Nigerian brands and all that kind of a thing. And it just went bad. Even for my resource, it was showing that the former AFN president wanted to come through with the Puma kit when that video actually came out. I feel like Amusan was just trying to call the bodies into order, because sincerely speaking, that video was really, really disappointing and discouraging to see that all they were given was in just a nylon pack. Like, sincerely speaking, it just showed poor planning, poor organization, because I don't think there's even an official photographer from the body in that made it to even the tournament, that made it into Tokyo as well. So it just shows that there is a recycle of leaders and also recycle of the same disappointment, and it's really disappointing.
Really disappointing, I would say. But at this time, where does the priority lie? I'm trying to rack my head around this. Okpone, can you help me where the priorities of the administrators, where does it lie? Because when you compare what was given to the United States athletes, Jamaica, that's where Tobi Amusan alluded that Jamaicans see their boxes. They have varieties, they have choices they can pick out from. You keep wondering, where does the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, where does the priority lie? Is it in the athletes or in the medals, or where, please? Can you share with me?
Well, it just lies in putting unnecessary pressure and passing the buck of the blame to the athletes themselves, when they should be taking responsibility, where they should be actually owning up, accountability-wise, right there. For what I've seen so far, is just a display of how we have been as a people. A lot of times, especially looking at our leaders in different spheres. I mean, you look at the issues that we have right here, and you're asking a question: what exactly is the thinking? Yes, like Joshua said, they're barely 4 months into the job, the board, and you'd have thought that they would hit the ground running, really, because I cannot say there are excuses for that at all. There are no excuses for not having the right kits, for not. I mean, a lot of times you look at these tournaments, even in football, sometimes you have the people that should be in the place are not in the right places. And there's a question of who is picking who. What are we putting in those sports to ensure that we understand what is happening, so that we ensure that the right environment is created for these athletes to thrive in, to win medals, consistently perform, and of course compete with their peers from different countries. If you listen to what she was saying, Tobi Amusan, in that video, she even mentioned, because she knows that even Jamaica have issues of their own, but despite that, look at how they were able to even surpass the expectations of some of the athletes and show them that you guys have been trying, but we can still do some of those things. And look at Nigeria, look at what was given to them. How is it supposed to motivate anyone to put in their utmost best, even when push comes to shove? What is going to be that outlier that will make sure that that athlete stays motivated to want to do beyond their limits when they are competing right there at the global stage? These are the questions that we should be asking. It's not just about having the talent. Are we holding the talent the right way? Are we giving them the right pedestal? Are we showing them the right things to do? I mean, why would anyone not want to switch allegiance after a while if seeing that other athletes from supposedly lower countries have better things that they are equipped with. So it's an eyesore again and again. And the priority for these administrators, I'm sorry to say, but it doesn't lie with the betterment of the athletes or the sports industry that we have presently. I think many of them are just thinking about themselves and how they keep on marking some certain achievements for themselves on paper and not doing the right things that would actually ensure that we have progress. Because in 2025, it should not be heard of that we are dropping that kind of a kit for our top athletes in Tokyo.
Now, does it seem like it's been a long time coming and Tobi Amusan should have lashed out at the federation even before Favour Ofili did switch allegiance? Because if you ask me, I would say Tobi she's been able to bear the brunt more from the shortcomings of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. We remember at the time when she ran in Yaba and the timer did not even work. And that would have been a perfect one for her to create a record there. But someone did not do his or her job and nobody went under the knife. Also, we've seen a lot of other things coming up from there. But with this video, because I've never seen Tobi go out like this on the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, with this video, do we see athletes? Athletes are taking the bull by the horn, taking matters into their own hands and feeling like calling them out is just the way forward. Call them out. What do you think is the strategy coming from the athletes, especially seeing what Tobi Amusan has done, Joshua?
Okay, so I think the reason why people are calling the bodies out is because narrative can be changed at any point in time. We've seen that in the case of Ofili's complaint about the Olympics and all that, and we see the AFN's response when it comes to situations like this. So I think because of this, they are now putting it out and like, okay, now it's out for everybody, now you can judge. Because if you check, the Olympics kit was far better than this, though we understand it was done by a big brand, the Puma brand, you understand all those kind of things. And you see the number of things, the art, all those things that were mentioned by Amusan was all in those kits. So I think this current board just didn't have a good level of planning.
Okay, Joshua,
and
if I were bought in, what better route would she have taken, you know, to lay her grievance about the kits or her reservations about the kits?
Will actually be no better route to do it because I've checked all the pictures that came out. They actually had to wear these kits. You understand? So meaning that even the planned or intended Puma kits to cover up the shame didn't come true. And you will see that it is so important to them because I think after the video she posted, she was talking about her brand Adidas when they gave her, they took a bus to come and take them, an AMG. And it's just to show how they really, really prize them. But for us, how do we do it? Even for normal competition, we have to get them on the road, long hours, and they will still have to run. So it's just a special call to them to take athletes with a very, very, very high priority at this.
All right, taking athletes. A long call indeed. I'm sure that Victor, you have something to say.
Looking at what you said, I think for Tobi Amusan, she was pushed to the wall with some of these actions in the last few months. Remember also that some of them have been thrown under the bus where these people should take accountability. They were thrown under the bus, and this is the athletes now saying, strategically, we are going to start posting these videos. Before, we used to cover up and we used to pretend like all was well and good. Now, we are going to take the bull by the horns. Everything that you're going to do, you're going to start showing it to people. Aside Nigerians, people in the world stage, people will see it and they will understand that this is what you're doing. Remember the last Olympics, they threw some of these athletes under the bus. They claimed that someone was lying about some things that happened. And you did not even correct some of these issues. So now, if you're going to do that, then we athletes ourselves will perform more, but we are going to show the world that this is what you're doing. Let us all have the evidence of your ineptitude out there for everyone to see.
Do you think these athletes have been pushed to the wall, pushed to this level to take things, matters like this? Do you think... Long ago, yes, I know for sure, because we know what happened to Favour Ofili. But at the moment, Favour Ofili did take this route. Yes, she called them out on social media, on X, telling people that she was not included in the list for the 200 meters over there at the Olympics. And we saw what happened. Nobody got sacked. Nobody had to step down. Nobody took responsibility. So with what Amusan has done right now, do you think we're going to get any reaction from the Athletics Federation of Nigeria for someone to go under the knife?
Well,
I don't think we should.
Okay, let me hear from Joshua first.
I don't think we should be expecting any reaction because it's not something new. It's something we know. It's just that it informs us more. We know what is going on in the inside. We know what is going on with the athletes. We know the true story. We can see videos. There are evidence. So when a newsletter or a press release is coming out, we can fact check it. We can be more interested in seeing, okay, what are they trying to hide? What are they trying to communicate? Because trust me, a newsletter or a press release is coming out soon. Either now or by the ending of the program, it is coming out soon. And people are already calling out different bodies that are associated with them to make sure that things are done right. So it's just it's an open call for AFN, it's an open call for NOC, it's an open call for all of them to just be intentional and see that, okay, if they really want this thing to work, there are ways to get it done.
All right, we'll be hoping that they can react. We need to see their reaction so quickly. This is Tobi Amusan calling out the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, a board that's got same president coming back to back as the president of the side. But let's look at action there in Tokyo. I know that we've got 2 down already, Amaechi and Chioma Onyekwere-Lyons. But Enekwechi, he's back. Victor, to another World Championship, and this is a final for him, even after narrowly missing out in Budapest, where we saw no show for Nigerian athletes. How much of a pressure is on him right now for the fact that he has made it to the final, and Krauser already, the first throw from Krauser, took him to the final. So how much of a pressure is it for Enekwechi in this final now that he has made? Victor?
Well, for Enekwechi, I see him as a big man. He has a big mentality. I see him as an individual who understands what it means to compete at this stage. And he had done that, and he knows that he has to keep going. So I think his mentality will take him through. For some of them, the pressure is lessened because they already understand the challenges that come with being at a stage like this consistently, and the exposure is right there for you. So I believe that it will be just like water off a duck's back for him. Handling the pressure that will be right there. It's not like it's the first time he's going to be seeing stuff like this. Just to go in there and put in his own shift, and of course ensure that everybody sees that he also has answers to whatever his competitors are throwing at this particular point. So yeah, I do not think that he would be actually angry for too much pressure right there. I think he knows how to hold the pressure and turn it into something that will motivate him to actually get into the final and eventually win, maybe.
All right, we took 15 athletes to the World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan, and right now we have 2 down. So we'll be hoping that 13 more can do better when track begins. Joshua, before I let you go, we already saw 2 down, Chioma Onyekwere and Obiageri Amaechi. It was another tough outing for both of them, I would say. Do you think Nigeria is already failing to convert talent into global success when it comes to the throws? I beg your pardon.
All right. I think it's not about talent for us in Nigeria. We've been able to escape that. But I think it's all about some little things in the development pipeline, which include coaching, technicals, support, financial support, competitions, exposure, and most of all these our throws, our throwers are only getting this exposure on collegiate system. And it even makes it difficult for homegrowns to even develop into that kind of a state because we don't really have much or strong coaching system around that yet, what level. So I think it's just all about just that development pipeline. Other countries have a well-established system and even the youth development system. We are seeing a little bit of that in Nigeria currently, but I think it's their vision or their exit from it is not so bad. It's not something they should be too worried about. For for one of them, it's actually a first. So it's time by time. It takes a while. And sure, in the next 3 to 4, there will actually be really people with potential for medals.
All right, it's a good thing that we're already seeing athletes in the throws, because I think for a very long time it's been Chukwuebuka Enekwechi, but when Shade Olatoye came in, Chioma Onyekwere, we would have seen better in Tokyo Olympic Games. But that out-of-competition test did take out 12 from the competition lists for Nigeria. Good thing that we can see them taking both steps right now. I think it's a learning curve for them, and they get to do better next time. Thank you so much, Okeke Joshua, for joining us on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we still stick around with Victor Okpone, and still talking athletics. Ethiopian middle distance runner Deribe Watije has been provisionally suspended and will have to miss the 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo. The Court of Arbitration for Sport CAS upheld a request by the World Athletics for provisional measures against the Ethiopian National Anti-Doping Office and Watije. This is over an alleged anti-doping rule violation. Watije was charged on May 21, 2025 for allegedly refusing to provide an out-of-competition sample. Although IFNADO cleared her after August 12 hearing, the World Athletics appealed to that decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport on September 9. So CAS has now ruled she remains suspended during the arbitration process. The case continues with written submissions and a hearing to follow, while proceedings remain confidential until a final judgment is delivered by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Yes, we are seeing a clampdown on athletes who failed to provide the out-of-competition test. Victor Okpone, this is really serious, because at the time, it seems clean sport, fair sport is what WADA are up for. They have been suspending, they have been banning a lot of athletes of late, and we've been seeing it back to back before this competition kicked off.
Well, just like you mentioned, the number of those who have been banned, who have faced cases are quite on the rise, especially in the last couple of years, and there are now questions arising as to some of the issues that we're seeing coming out in here. Earlier on, you were talking about the case for 19, amongst others, and you asked what are the fight margins, what are the things that allows these athletes to go in and they put in their best, maybe if they can actually go on all cylinders, fire on all cylinders and get something done, or if they'll be scared that at some point maybe they hate something that contained a bit of a substance that was banned. There's a long list of banned substances now, and some of them already have questions as to what exactly these banned substances are, which food actually contains this banned substance or not, whatever the amount might be. But in the case of Oteji, refusal to actually go through some processes, which are due processes, is an offense, and it's a big one. I think maybe she wasn't educated well enough, maybe by her team. Some people involved that may make her understand the nitty-gritty of what this case is. So CAS has the right to oppose, a valid request to keep her suspended. And we're waiting to see what happens back there. But I think there needs to be more education across board regarding what these offenses are and the thin lines that the athletes have to navigate, especially by their brands, by their representatives. And I like what was done right there for Sebastian Sawe, like you mentioned earlier on. The fact that his brand was able to say, let's go out there and do this. But then the question would be, we are saying athletes 25. If it was a different kind of athletes altogether, would you say at least 25? Wouldn't you be stopping the mark at about 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, maybe 10? Why 25? Why did they need to go through that amount of tests to ensure that they have not actually been taking substances to enhance their performance? These are some of the things that we should be working around.
Okay.
I think that as a body, the WADA will do well to actually look through these issues and look at the uprising in numbers of those who are falling foul of the rule books and say, how do we adjust the book? There's need for more research.
Okay.
What do we do so that we are doing better?
Okay. I know for sure that WADA had provided all substances that have been banned by them in their books and have given to all these athletes for them to know what to take and what not to take. But this borders on their coaches, their agents, their brands to know what works for them and what's in the rule book of WADA for these athletes. It's a good thing that a brand is already coming out for Sebastian Sewa, but you won't say same for other brands who have these athletes as brand ambassadors.